So, if you want to read about the murder kittens, this is going to be a quick guide about what order you can read the series in. And it may seem confusing because there are currently, as of 2023, 117 books, which obviously is a lot. And you may look at the shelf and think, wow, I have no idea what to read this in, but it doesn't have to be confusing. So, this is just a simple guide to help you work through the series. Alright, so the first thing to understand about the series is that there are 8 arcs, which are shown here, and each arc has 6 books in them and tell a story about a different group of cats. And so those are called the main series, and that's like the core of the story. So the first arc is called The Prophecies Begin, which you can see over here. And once you read The Prophecies Begin, there are some things over here on the right that you can now read. So once you start with The Prophecies Begin, with the first book being Into the Wild, and you work through all of those, you can either read the next arc, The New Prophecy, or if you'd like, you can read the novella Tiger Claw's Fury, or you can read the graphic novel series Tiger Star and Sasha. Alright, so now here's where it gets a little tricky. So you just read the first arc of The Prophecies Begin, and now you can read a whole lot of books, and you have a lot of choices about what time period you want to explore. So if you can go through, let's say, these 3 doors here. You can go the past, present, and future in the Warriors timeline. If you decide to go with the past, there's a lot of books you can read. You've got all these novellas on the top here. You've got all these super editions over here, and you've got some more novellas and some graphic novels. There's a lot of stuff you can read because you have been introduced to all these characters in this first arc, and if you are curious about any of them, you can go and read books that focus around them. And feel free to pause the video at any time if you want to take a screenshot of any of these books. Now, if you go through a different door to the present, these are things that happen directly after the prophecies begin, and not before. Directly after the prophecy again and before the next arc, The New Prophecy. So you can read the novella Black Star's Reckoning, some of these graphic novels. You could also read some of these super editions. None of these are required to understand the story, except the only one I would recommend reading at some point is this book Firestar's Quest, because it does become important much later on in the series. If you decide to go to the future door, as I said, you can go to the next arc of The New Prophecy, and you can enjoy that series there. And once you've read the arc of The New Prophecy, you can either go to arc 3, The Power of 3, or if you'd like, you can read the novella Leafpool's Wish, or these 2 graphic novels down here. Once you've read arc 3, The Power of 3, you can either go to arc 4, which is Omen of the Stars, or you can read Holly Loy's Story, the novella, or if you'd like, you can read the graphic novel. There are many different ways you could go about this. Once you've read arc 4, Omen of the Stars, things get a little complicated again. So you can still continue to read this small little graphic novel series about SkyClan, or you could, if you want, read Misty Star's Omen, which is just a novella. But this is where it gets a little complicated, as I said. So far, you've just been going from arc 1, arc 2, arc 3, arc 4, and you can go along in that way. But here's where things change. So the next arc that was published at this time is called Dawn the Clans, and it's technically called arc 5. But Dawn the Clans, as you could probably guess from the title, is not actually taking place after Omen of the Stars. It takes place way before everything, way before the prophecies began. And it's the prequel series. So it was published at this time. And if you would like to read it, that's perfectly fine. I think it's a great series. Honestly, it's my favorite series. But it doesn't happen right after Arc 4, and this could be a bit confusing for new readers. So if you'd like, you can go read this prequel series, Dawn of the Clans, or if you don't feel like reading this prequel series, you can go to Arc 6 instead, which happens directly after Arc 4. I know it sounds weird, but that's how it is. And Arc 6 is called A Vision of Shadows, and it's up to you. So, as I said, this is basically, I just explained this, you have different doors you can go through again. If you go to the past and you read the prequel series Dawn of the Clans, there's also a lot of stuff you can read. You can read these two super editions, Mothlight's Vision, Riverstar's Home, and you can also read these two novellas of Thunderstar's Echo and Shadowstar's Life. So if you really like Dawn of the Clans, you can go and explore that time period. I highly recommend you do. They're really good. But if you don't feel like that, or you have read that and you want to move on, you can go to Arc 6, A Vision of Shadows, and that's where we find the present. So you can read all of these things before, during, around Vision of Shadows. There's a lot of stuff that was written during this time period. That era, we'll call it. You've got all these novellas that you can read around this time. Got super editions. A lot of fun stuff if you feel like exploring that time period. So you say, I just read A Vision of Shadows. So it's a fun series. Hope you enjoy it. So now, of course, you can go to the next arc, which is the Broken Code. And you can enjoy that. But if you want to, around this time period, you can also read Squirrel Sly's Hope, Tawny Pelt's Clan, and Tigerheart's Shadow. Now, if you just read The Broken Code, you're getting pretty close to being caught up. And you can now read A Starless Clan, which is the most current arc. Oh my goodness, you've read a lot of books, haven't you? But if you'd like, you can also read the Super Edition Greystripe's Vow, the novellas Daisy's Kin, and Spotfur's Rebellion, right? That's what it's called. And if you want, these are some supplemental reading you can read around that time. And if you've come all this way, you've either read all the arcs, or maybe you've read all the arcs and some super editions you picked up around the right time, then you've finally caught yourself up with all these novellas, graphic novels. You finally caught yourself up to the main current series, A Starless Clan, which I don't even know how you could be caught up with the last two books because they haven't even come out yet. So currently, as of this recording, Thunder is the most recent book. So Wind is coming out in just a few weeks, and Star will be coming out this fall. So once you've read A Starless Clan, there's currently nothing else to read, so you can go find yourself a new book series. Yeah, they're planning on a next arc, so you can still continue to enjoy the series. And maybe you can look at some field guides if you're interested in some of the lore. But yeah, welcome to the series, and I hope this guide was helpful for you. Bye!